Taurus and peeled out of their parking spot behind them. Another group of similarly dressed students was struggling with the remnants of their stall. They carried rolled banners, a folding table, and boxes of what looked like flyers or promotional materials. One student, a girl with jet black hair and purple streaks, was trying to manage a particularly unwieldy banner that must have been 10 feet long. She stepped backward into the street, the banner blocking her view of oncoming traffic. Caleb saw the Chevy Silverado before she did. It was coming fast, the driver probably not expecting anyone to step into the road. Mid-block, without thinking, Caleb sprinted forward, grabbing the girl around the waist and pulling her backward. They both tumbled onto the asphalt as the truck roared past its horn, blaring angrily. The banner flew from her hands, landing in a crumpled heap nearby. Jesus. The girl gasped, sprawled on the street that was close. Are you hurt? Caleb asked, helping her to her feet. His palms were scraped from the fall, but nothing serious. No, I'm okay, thanks to you. She brushed off her black jeans, looking shaken. I didn't even see it coming. Her friends had noticed the commotion and came running. Lily, what happened? I'm fine, she assured them. This guy saved me. Caleb helped gather her scattered materials. The banner advertising something called Alternative Spirituality Society. A box of flyers with symbols he didn't recognize, and what looked like incense bundles. Let me help you get this to your car, he offered. Lily nodded gratefully, and they walked to a Honda Civic parked down the block. Her friends had gone back to loading their own vehicle as they loaded items into her back seat and trunk. Caleb couldn't help but notice the trunk's other contents: a box filled with what looked like hand-rolled cigarettes, probably marijuana given the distinct herbal smell, several cases of Keystone light beer, and another sealed box he couldn't identify. Lily quickly closed the trunk. Thanks again. Really, I could have been killed. Her friends whistled from their car. Lily, come on, I got to go, she said, hurrying to the driver's side. But seriously, thank you. She drove off, following her friend's vehicle. It wasn't until her Honda was stopped at the intersection, a block away, that Caleb noticed something glinting in the street where they had fallen. He waited for a break in traffic, then retrieved it. It was one of those silver rings, clearly Lies, now bent and broken from being run over by multiple vehicles. The design was clearer, up close, definitely a goat's head, surrounded by a pentagram. The band was cracked, nearly in half. Caleb looked up to see Lily's car still waiting at the red light. Without really thinking about it, he jumped to his own car. She'd saved him from witnessing a tragedy. The least he could do was return her property. Maybe she needed it for something. He started his engine and pulled out, keeping her Honda in sight. As the light turned green, Caleb maintained a careful distance behind Lily's Honda Civic as it followed the other student's car through Lancaster's outskirts. The buildings grew sparer, replaced by farmland and patches of forest. After 20 minutes, they'd clearly left the town limits, and Caleb's unease grew. Where were these students heading? The road wound through Pennsylvania's rural landscape, past weathered barns and fields, preparing for winter. Traffic thinned until they were virtually alone on the 2-lane highway. After another 10 minutes, Lily's turn signal blinked and she pulled onto the shoulder. The lead car stopped 100 yards ahead. Caleb pulled over behind her, his hands slightly trembling as he turned off the engine. Through his windshield, he watched Lily exit her car, her body language tense. He stepped out to meet her. Why are you following me? Her voice was sharp, frightened. What do you want? Caleb raised his hands. Peacefully, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. You dropped this back there. He pulled the broken ring from his pocket. I thought you might need it. Lily took the mangled silver band, examining the cracked goat's head design. Her expression softened slightly. Oh, it's destroyed. She looked up at him. It's useless now, but thanks for trying, I guess. She turned back toward her car, but Caleb called after her, wait, where are you guys heading? This is pretty far from Lancaster. That's none of your business. Her guard was back up. We're just going on a road trip. College stuff. The other car's doors opened and 3 students approached, 2 guys and a girl, all wearing the same dark clothing and silver rings. One of the males, tall with a shaved head, stepped protectively near. Lily, this guy bothering you? Lil, no, it's fine. He was just returning my ring, the one that got crushed when he saved me. The tall student looked Caleb up and down. Okay, well, you did your good deed. Now stop following us, or we'll call the cops. Got it? Sure, no problem, Caleb said, backing toward his car. Just wanted to return her property. I'll head back to town now. He got into his Honda, watching as the group walked back to their vehicles. But with his window cracked, their voices carried on the quiet country air. Damn, Lily, father's going to be pissed when he sees you broke your ring, the tall one said, laughing. Screw it. Another voice chimed in. We'll still get to party with those Jesus freaks tonight. It's going to be lit. They all laughed, and one of them made a crude gesture that made Caleb's stomach turn. The casual mention of Christians, combined with the occult rings and the supplies he'd seen in Lily's trunk, set off every alarm in his head. He started his engine and pulled a U-turn, driving back toward Lancaster for about a 4-mile before pulling into a farm's access road. He waited 5 minutes, then turned around again. If these students were planning something involving Christians, and given what had been found at the motel, he couldn't just drive away. Keeping his distance, he spotted their cars ahead and followed at a gap of nearly half a mile. The route took them north, then west, following increasingly remote roads. Signs indicated they were heading toward Perry County. After an hour of driving, they entered the Tuscarora State Forest. The forest road was narrow, canopied by tall pines that blocked out much of the late afternoon sun. It was past 5 p.m. now, and shadows lengthened between the trees. Caleb hung back even further, catching only glimpses of the cars ahead on the winding road. After another 40 minutes of careful pursuit, he saw brake lights through the trees. The cars had turned onto an even smaller dirt road. Caleb slowed, then followed his Honda's suspension, protesting the rooted surface. Through the forest he glimpsed a structure, an old barn, its red paint faded to brown, sitting in a clearing. He pulled off the dirt road about 200 yards from the barn, parking behind a thick stand of pines. From here he could see the students unloading their vehicles. They carried the cases of beer, the boxes, and other supplies toward the barn's entrance. Once they'd all gone inside and the heavy door slid shut, Caleb crept closer, using the tree for cover. He approached until he could see through one of the barn's few windows. The interior was dark, except for flickering candle-light. Shadowy figures moved about, and he could make out what looked like robes being pulled on Overstreet clothes. Caleb checked his phone to bars of signal. Not great, but enough for emergency calls. He settled behind a large oak tree to watch, wondering if he was overreacting. Maybe this was just some harmless college party. A bunch of kids playing at being occultists. They all looked over 21. The buyer was legal. He was about to head back to his car when a scream pierced the forest quiet. It wasn't a party scream or a laugh. It was pure agony, raw and desperate. Caleb's blood went cold. He fumbled for his phone, punching in 911. Another scream echoed from the barn as the call connected. 911. What's your emergency? I'm at an old barn in Tuscarora State Forest off Route 274. I heard screaming. The barn door suddenly flew open, crashing against its frame. A figure burst out, a naked man, pale in the dying light, running with desperate lurching strides toward the forest. Caleb dropped his phone, pressing himself against the tree. The man stumbled closer, and Caleb's heart nearly stopped, even from 30 yards away, even after 6 years. He knew that gait that built Ethan. He whispered. Robed figures emerged from the barn, but they moved without urgency, spreading out in a casual search pattern. They seemed confident their quarry wouldn't get far. Caleb darted between trees, intercepting his brother's path. "Ethan!" He hissed. His brother spun wildly, eyes wide with terror, searching for the voice's source. "It's me, Caleb, your brother." He stepped into view, and their eyes met. Recognition dawned in Ethan's haunted face. "Caleb, what are you?" No, you can't be here. It's dangerous. You have to leave." "I'm not leaving you." Caleb shrugged off his jacket, wrapping it around his brother's trembling shoulders. That's when he saw Ethan's hands, or what remained of them all. 10 fingers were gone, leaving scarred stumps. His feet were the same toes, amputated. "Dear God, Ethan, what did they devils?" Ethan sobbed. "They torture us. They'll kill us slowly. They took my fingers and toes, one by one, every time. I tried to escape. I don't have any left, so God knows what they'll take next." Rustling leaves announced a search party's approach. Caleb grabbed his brother's arm, trying to guide him deeper into the forest, but the robed students had already flanked them. Strong hands seized both brothers, dragging them back toward the barn. "Let us go," Caleb shouted. "What you're doing here is illegal. I called the police." One student pulled back his hood, the tall one from earlier. "Hey, father, this one came out of the church earlier. He must be Christian." To a figure in a more elaborate robe stepped forward, his face hidden in shadow. When he spoke, his voice carried a slight accent. Caleb couldn't place. "Excellent. Lucifer has blessed us with another lamb." He